What's
do
going
it.
on?
Yes, my favorite guys in the world, the Watch for Crappens guys. So I'm so happy to speak with you. I listen to you guys' podcasts all the time. Big Housewives fan. So I think I
Oh
met my
yeah.
favorite people in the world.
Oh,
Oh,
right on. Thank
perfect.
you.
Yes. So tell me a little bit. I understand you have a big thing going on now with the Housewives leading up to the New York premiere.
Sure do. So we are doing, we're gonna be doing a live virtual show to recap the premiere. That's gonna be next Thursday, May 6th. And we are just because New York is our favorite. It's our favorite Real Housewives show. It's for me, it's my favorite Bravo show of all time. And so to get sort of psyched for the whole live show and the season premiere, every day between now and then, we're going to be counting down our most underrated Real Housewives of New York players, which has already been really fun seeing the reactions online to our first picks.
Yeah, I was looking at it on Instagram. Tell us a little about that.
Well, basically, we argue about who we like the least, who's most of the past housewives. We rank them, so we have different rankings. And so at the beginning of every episode, we just basically argue about who's right. And then we let the people of Instagram decide with a vote every day up until the show. And then at the show, we'll announce who won. And it looks like Ben's going to kick my butt already. We've only had one vote.
Wait, no, you are destroying me. Well, I think our poll is a little confusing because we basically yesterday we said in our number 10 slot, which is the least of the underrated people, right? Like if number one is the most underrated, number 10 is the least most underrated because it's not like the least underrated because the least underrated would be like Ramona or Luann, right? Because they are fully rated. They are fully like top. But this is of the people that are maybe we don't give them enough credit. Number 10, whoever ranks number 10. So Ronnie had Alex McCord, which was a really good pick.
Oh,
And
I was Alex. Oh, then I am winning. Good. I
yeah,
thought
you
I
chose
was.
Alex. And I chose Cindy Barshop, but I think people thought I was saying that Cindy Barshop was more underrated than Alex. But I'm like, no, Cindy Barshop is my 10, which means
Okay.
she's less
We could have
underrated.
come up with a less confusing 10-day event, basically. I think that's what
It's like
we're
a double
learning
negative
today.
of events. Yeah. And we're asking people to vote. Yeah, I think we've confused everyone, but honestly, it's okay because it's actually just really fun because anything that gets people excited about Roni is going to be great.
I am so excited. Just finished re-binging this past season, and gotta say, when Tinsley left, I was really sad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all the stuff with Sonia and Dorinda, oh boy, it was what a season. That's an understatement alert. What a season.
Yeah, it
It
really
was a crazy
was.
season.
It
It
hurt
was
my
really good.
feelings. Like by the end of
Mm-hmm.
it, I was like, geez, Dorinda, God. Because I love Dorinda. So by the end of that, I was like, oh my God, just take a break. Okay.
Yeah.
Take a vacation. You're so vile and mean right now. But then already, the show's coming back and seeing her not standing there with the other ladies with her apple, I'm depressed.
Right? I'm like,
You know?
why is our girl not here? I mean, I know she got a little bit at the end, a little much at the end, but she's
Yeah.
Dorinda.
She's still
Oh,
Dorinda, and that
She,
ending
yeah.
with Dorinda in a turban and a glitter jacket, yelling at the entire production staff, and
About Tinsley.
I mean, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, I have to imagine she's going to come back. People love her too much. And I think my suspicion is that she just became a handful for production where it just became too difficult to either wrangle her in or maybe she was always yelling at them and they just wanted a year off from Dorinda. So maybe she'll have a year off and then she'll come back.
fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But we have a new lady joining us, Miss Ebony, and I'm so excited. I was just reading that her and Ramona hit it off, but they also have some tension.
Wow. Yeah,
Well, how can
she
you not have tension with Ramona? I mean, really, it could be Jesus Christ come on that cast. And Ramona would just say something stupid to him, like your wine sucks. Okay. You know what? I used to make wine too. And my wine's better. Okay, Jesus.
you know what? I really appreciate what you do, but this is a fancy event and I need you to wear something more than just some robes, okay?
Yeah.
Trim your beard.
At her 60 girlfriend or 50 girlfriends that came to
50
her
close
birthday party.
girlfriends.
Yes, 50 close girlfriends. That was like,
getting $100 each so she can buy a purse from all of her best girlfriends.
I can't imagine that. I would never.
No. But you know what, Ramona, I mean, she has a hold up over her 50 close girlfriends. They all love her for some reason.
I don't know, but she's something else, all right. And I hear she's going on the All Stars Real Housewives, which I'm really excited about. Are you guys going to be watching that?
Yes. Hello, of course. It's our life.
I am so excited. What do you think about the cast rumors?
It's pretty interesting, right? It's Luann, Ramona, Cynthia, Kenya, Teresa, Melissa, and Kyle, right?
Yes.
So sort of interesting, you know, Luann and Cynthia are friends as it is. I believe that Cynthia appeared in Feeling Giovanni, the music video.
Yes.
Don't quote me on that. You can, okay, fine. But so I know they're friends already. Ramona obviously is friends with Melissa Gorga because she was at Melissa Gorga's 40th birthday party. So there's like a lot of friendships. It'll be interesting to see if it'll be interesting to see if they behave well and just are if they just have a love fest or if they just all fight. And I don't know which way it's going to go.
Well, it's interesting because they've taken kind of the boring is the real word I want to use, but I'll be nicer and say sensible. Like you've got Cynthia, she's a sensible.
Yeah.
What does Cynthia do? Nothing. Okay, but we love Cynthia. Like she's sensible, and she's like, Nina, you're crazy. And then you've got Melissa, who Melissa doesn't really do anything either.
Yeah.
She's like the sensible one who's like, Teresa, you're crazy. And they've got Kyle Richards, who's like the star of her show now because she betrayed Lisa Vanderpump. I'll never forgive. Yes, boo. I'll never forgive that. But Kyle's not that interesting either. I mean, what does she do? Her husband like has the agency. She even has agency on a coconut. I saw online. Okay, she put the agency on a coconut. So you've got a lot of basic bitches basically who are going to kind of sit there. So it's going to really be up to Ramona.
It's up to Ramona,
Teresa,
and Kenya. Ramona and Kenya.
Yes.
Well, you know, the thing is that Bravo always cast their Real Housewives shows with an idea that these people ostensibly have a real relationship. And so that's why I think that we're seeing Cynthia and Melissa in the mix, because we do know that Melissa and Ramona have a relationship and Cynthia and Luann have a relationship. So it sort of follows that pattern. But if you only have like 6 or 7 slots, why are we giving Melissa and Cynthia 2 of them? Where is Karen Huger? Where is Heather, what's Heather's last name again from
Salt Lake? She can't be on the show. I mean, if you can't remember her
Lisa
last
Barlow.
name.
How about Lisa Barlow? What about Mary Cosby? I just think that, you know, Cameron Westcott. Okay,
yes.
Cameron Westcott. There's a lot of good options out there.
Yeah, there's lots. And I would have loved, had Leanne not screwed up and got herself fired, I would love to see a Leanne and Kyle showdown, or Leanne and Ramona showdown.
You know that Leanne, if Leanne had really not screwed up her entire reality TV career, man, this show would have been made for her. She would have just been a disaster. She would have just been like taking shrimp from the buffet and putting it in her purse and just like yelling at people. It would have been perfect.
Yes.
Well, you've got Ramona for that. You know,
that's true.
She's the one who does the seafood in the purse. Yeah. But Leanne, I find it funny because Leanne's all over Instagram like, look at me in Puerto Rico, because everybody who's on the show is posting from the gorgeous hotel and it's like sunset at the beach. And then Leanne, who's not on the show, obviously, is like, look at me. I'm in Puerto Rico. Look at me at sunset on the beach. Thank you, Puerto Rico. Like, okay, you got to love the struggle that continues to this day.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but speaking of Dallas, last night was the finale. What do you guys think? First of all, it took place in South Fork. We're up watching Dallas. I was excited about that. But Carrie, what the heck is going on with that woman?
She's a disaster. She's just a full-on disaster. And she makes me angry because she did destroy property. And we've been talking about this on the podcast. My theory is that Carrie is that friend that you invited over when you were a kid and she breaks your toys. And I never liked that as a child, and I don't like that as an adult. I don't like watching her break, you know, museum toys, aka plexiglass. I think it's just rude. She's rude and she has no boundaries.
Yeah, she needed to really make up with Leanne, forgive Leanne, what, for all that stuff, which I don't even know how forgivable it was really, but just because Leanne really helped Carrie. I mean, we didn't notice how much of an a-hole Carrie was last year with Leanne there to kind of shield her. But now with Leanne gone, I mean, Carrie's just a monster. She's just that lady at customer service who cuts in front of everybody, didn't bring the receipt, and that's just not even from the same store, and just sits there and yells, yells at the poor lady at Ross Dress for Less, like insisting that she needs to get her money back. Like she's just a nightmare. You can just tell she's a nightmare wherever she goes, And then my least favorite thing, Brandy did this to you last night. Brandy always does it, and so does Carrie actually this season. But whenever they do something just horrible, what do? They start crying.
They
like,
cry.
what are you, 5? So we have to give you a lollipop now because you did something wrong, Infuriating.
Yeah, it was very infuriating watching that. But I have to say, I don't want to speak for Ronnie, but I personally feel like I'm in the minority in that I actually really enjoyed this season of Dallas. I thought it was really funny and fun. It had a few lulls, but overall, I was into it.
I liked it too, and I'm in a minority with this one. I really liked Tiffany. I thought she brought some voice of reason to the show.
She was great. That was a great find. She's probably one of the best breakout stars, I think, so far of 2021 for Bravo.
I think so too. And her kids are adorable. The way she wants to be a good mom is so cute. I just think it's just great. And her husband, well, now that everything's coming out with her husband, but pre that breaking news coming out, I thought her husband was just the sweetest.
What is the breaking
news?
The
stuff
again?
with her husband. I mean, it's the husband's company, right? So it's the father-in-law's company. So basically, the father-in-law and the brother-in-law are accused of a lot of sexual misconduct and sexual harassment and all sorts of stuff at their hotel group or whatever. But Daniel's not. He's named in the suit because he's there. So, I mean, I guess the argument could be made that innocent, sweet little Daniel didn't know. Of course he did. And of course he's dealing with these assholes acting like this. And he's mortified. If he says anything, then he's out, But yeah, that whole situation's not good. But you have to hand it to them as well. For your first big scandal to come out, it really didn't touch them, right?
Yeah, and listen, if you don't have a scandal, you're really not even on the Housewives. So congrats to Tiffany. You've officially made it.
I mean, I would prefer it wasn't sexual harassment, but maybe steal something from a store next season so we can have like a nice, fun, small crime to deal with.
A little petty crime.
A little.
Like small
little
small
petty
claims
crime.
court.
Yeah, don't rob a bank, rob a Ross, just do something little.
Steal a pencil. Maybe a loaf of bread. It'll be very Les Mis,
Yeah.
That would be hysterical to see. But what would you say was your favorite moment of Dallas this season?
Oh God, Mama D, and Mama D, all Mama D. She is hilarious, and just being a Texan, you see that everywhere. You see that lady at Dillard's all the time. She's a nightmare, but also hilarious. You want to sit by her because you know that she's talking shit about you. So you just want to sit by her to both laugh with her, but also to not be excoriated behind your back. And the whole thing with Deandra, their whole relationship, I think is just hilarious and horrible and cringy, but also like touching in a weird way. It's like hamsters eat their babies, but they're still cute. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I think the birthday party they threw for Tiffany, where Mama D came, and in the middle of this party, Mama D basically announces, that she sat on a curb and used to wait for rich guys to come by, and that she would go to the cafe and wait for, Papa Simmons to notice her, and she basically slept her way to the top, and then outed Deandra for, changing her name from Calloway to Simmons because it'd get her farther along in life. That was such an amazing, and that all happened like in 15 seconds. And it was such an amazing scene. It was no one can just bring that perfect mix of camp and terror that Mama D brings. And in fact, Mama D came to one of our live shows when we went to Dallas, and we met her. She came backstage, and I was terrified the entire time. She's just a small little woman. She was sweet as can be, just lovely. She brought these gays that were wearing paisley, and they were just so friendly and lovely. But the entire time I was terrified because Mama D just looks at you and you just know you just know it's Mama D. And like you say one wrong thing and she'll be like, well, let me tell you one thing. I don't give a rip what you think about your live show. I'm out of here. You know, it was great. It's a great moment for us.
Yeah, she needs her own show. Can you imagine Mama D having her own show? I think that would be epic.
Didn't she have like a show in the 700 Club or something like that? Or didn't she have like
it wasn't hers, but they would go, they've shown clips, I think, on the show of her and Deandra going on the 700 Club, you know, which is like a big Jesus show. And like they're talking to the preacher about their skincare. You know what? Jesus wants you to have good skincare. You think he wants ugly people in heaven? No, fix your skin.
I think Dallas has actually been. I think Dallas is a very underrated Real Housewives show. I think some people tune to it expecting some sort of experience that they don't get, and so for them it's boring. But I think if you look at it as a source of great campy entertainment, it pretty much delivers every season.
I think so too. There's always something that just makes you go, what the heck is happening? What am I watching? Like this season with Bigfoot and Carrie treating that poor guy really horribly.
Yeah.
And then last year with Leanne's wedding, it was just,
oh my goodness,
lots of crazy moments.
Yep.
Lots of crazy moments. And also May, we have Beverly Hills coming back and Sutton is finally a full-time housewife.
So proud of her.
And she's earning that too. I mean, she's going straight for Erica, which I love, because Erica's going to do the same thing. Like she's done all this stuff. Well, her husband has, and now she's going to come on and cry and try and be the victim. And Sutton's, you know, not having it, which I love, because I think without Sutton, it looks like, just from the previews and from what we've pieced together, it looks like it would just be another season of Erica, you know, pretending she's some badass and doing that whole song and dance and nobody calling her out on anything ever, you know. So you earned that diamond, Sutton.
Yeah, I'm taking this time right now to just enjoy being a Sutton fan, because I am just going to predict that down the line the audience will turn on her and then she will become universally loathed. It may be because of she does something really problematic, or maybe she'll just do something that people suddenly decide they hate. But I feel like Sutton, there's going to be a turn at some point, and I'm just going to right now enjoy loving Sutton while we can all love Sutton.
Same.
You know, don't you get that feeling like it's going to turn with her? It's going to go.
Well, I mean, that's a safe bet when you're talking about a Real Housewives show.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
Like, one of my favorite things is to pretend I'm psychic, like to go back and be like, wow, I called it. But I always call negative things about people, right? Like Kyle Richards is an asshole. Okay, even if you don't agree with me on season 2, surely you agree with me by season 7. You know, like, I'm going to be right at some point.
Yeah, you called it a long time ago, Ronnie, and I pushed back for a while.
Well, if you're always being negative about somebody, we're human, so everybody's going to go through a really bad spot where people hate them. So as long as you just learn to look at the negative, you'll always be right at some point. Thanks. I'm a buck. Okay.
Yeah, and if you could bring any Real Housewife back to any franchise, who would you bring back and why?
I'm always advocating for Claudia Jordan. I thought she was actually pretty great on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She didn't have a lot of personal storyline, but the way that she read Nene Leakes was expert level. No one has ever been able to do it the way she did. And you know, we can get that personal storyline to fill in, because she was fantastic. There was someone else too, but I don't remember.
Oddly enough, I can't even believe I'm going to answer this. I don't think I've ever answered this, but I think the Manzos, shockingly enough, because watching the show since they left has been a blessing as well. I'm not going to lie. Like it was time to go, but no one has really been able to just call Teresa out. I mean, Jackie calls her out. She has no problem like making jail jokes and doing all of that. But Caroline like really understood what was happening. Like she understood the crime. I remember that scene when she was saying, oh, look at her, she's now she's the big victim, then she's gonna have a book about how she's single without Joe after he goes to jail. You know, she could just kind of call everything and call Teresa out in a way that really got Teresa, because Jackie can call her out in this way that gets Teresa mad and throwing things and fighting, but Caroline did it in a way that could shut Teresa up. I mean, she could just make Teresa just do her blink, 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 blink,
Mhm.
blink. That face that she does where she just can't stop blinking incessantly.
I have to push back on that a little bit because Caroline could call out Teresa and go after Teresa, but she did it in a kind of boring way to me. Whereas now you have Jackie who does go after Teresa, but Teresa's a little unhinged right now, and I think it's like working pretty well for the show. Because I feel like back in the day, Teresa was unhinged, but there were still a number of people who kissed her ass. And now it's not that they kissed her ass; they just kind of manage her, which I think is really entertaining for me. So I push back on Caroline Manzo just
Go
a little
ahead.
bit, but I think you make
Push
but I think you
back.
do make some good
Listen,
points.
I love you, and I totally support your right to be wrong. Okay.
Wait, I have a
stand
hot
by
take.
you.
I have a hot take that's going to really make everyone hate me, and
Okay.
it's actually it's a double hot take. It's a double hot
Ooh.
take.
Let's hear it.
I think Orange County. You already know it. Like if I just say
Don't
Orange
you
County,
dare. Don't even put that out into the ether,
I'm
please.
just you already know. Like I'm already in trouble. I just say Orange County because like anyone you bring back to Orange County is already going to be a problem. My double hot take is that we may need Tamara and Heather back.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not
Oh,
Vicky.
you thought no,
So
Vicky?
Tamara
I liked Vicky as a friend of actually. I thought that fit her very well. Just a little dose of Vicky and her craziness. But
so Heather Dubrow. Oh,
the reason why I say this is I say it with a heavy heart that I say we should bring back Heather Dubrow. If you look at the track record, ever since Heather Dubrow left the show, Orange County has been in decline. They have really not. They had, I think, one pretty good season. I think the season with the Kelly Dodd and the quote unquote train was actually, I think that was actually a really good season, but it generally was viewed as still not good. But ever since Heather Dubrow left, we got the Peggy season. I mean, that was really when things went downhill, right? Peggy and Lydia, and it's been bad. And I think that maybe we have to go back to some of the basics, like Heather Dubrow.
there are plenty of basics in Orange County to cast. I don't think we need to go back to the thrift store to find the things that we threw out on purpose. Okay. Those things were sent to the Salvation Army on purpose. We did not like those things. Go buy new things that you can throw out in a few years. Okay.
That's a fair argument.
What about Camille coming back to Beverly Hills? Yay or nay?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think she'll always be kind of around, right?
I think
Well,
so too.
she's on the outs. Actually, Camille probably should have been the number one choice. Now that you say it, Camille for me would be number one. And an outside, I just want everyone to come back. I'm like, I'll bring us Carlton. I feel like Carlton
I
is
love
just settling into
Carlton.
her craziness. Bring her back.
I loved when she always called Kyle out on her BS.
She kept calling Kyle anti-Semitic.
For no reason, too. She just didn't like Kyle. I remember when she cursed Kyle.
After the dream she had of her, she's like, I had a dream that you were mean to me.
And
So
the
now
bumble and the bee. Yeah, I think Carlton should totally come back.
She cursed her and she put something on her screensaver. What was it that Kyle really believed that she was cursed?
It's
It was
kind of like
that's great.
Or something.
Taylor
Like to
Armstrong.
mess with her. Oh,
Taylor
Taylor
Armstrong should come back too.
Yes, especially since she has a whole new life now, and Kennedy's all grown up practically, and I think it'll be a
What's her
great
new
thing.
life now?
She's married now, so to a new man. And I think she's living in Colorado now, and
she married Russell's lawyer, didn't she?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, she, they have the spinoff show coming out, which will be fun to watch, I'm sure. But I think what they really should do if they want to keep this going forever is start like a Golden Girls version where it's the classics, all the OGs back in their cities just as older ladies. I would love to see that.
I would
or
love
Lisa
to see that
Vanderpump
too.
as just Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa
Still
Vanderpump
saying
is queen. I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. Hello, her picture's right behind me.
I see it. It's beautiful.
we are very staunchly
She's a
team
hero.
Vanderpump, although I feel like she used to be my number one, and I feel like her star has faded for me a little bit as she's kind of leaned into like these strange, fuddy-duddy old British lady naughty bits that she likes to do now. Like the other day on Instagram, I don't know, did you guys see this? I'm surprised I didn't bring this up to you, Ronnie. She posted a video of her walking on little stones in a pool. There was like a pool and there was like a few elevated stones, and she like hopped from one to the other, like, oh, isn't this so youthful? Oh, I'm on another stone. Oh, look at me. Oh, I was like, what is this, Lisa? This is not the Lisa I loved.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like,
You
okay.
saw it, right?
Yes. But at least we get her back on Vanderpump Rules season 9.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Now that one I'm worried about. How are you feeling about that?
I'm worried about that one too. I mean, all the OG cast is pretty much gone. We only have Lala and Shayna that are pretty much back, right?
Well,
And
Tom
Ariana and Tom.
Okay.
and Tom and Katie,
Okay.
all the
Which
most magnetic people. Listen, this is what I say. Let's focus on our blessings, which is that we did not have to sit through an entire season of a quadruple pregnancy. Okay,
Yes.
we bypassed that. We bypassed it, and we're gonna pick up with there's 2 babies, and we're just gonna move forward from there. Like, did not have to sit through 4 baby showers.
Yeah.
Although
that would have been good though. The dueling baby showers and everybody being pregnant at the same time, jockeying for space,
But you know that Lala's gonna want to throw herself or Sheena a retroactive baby shower. Like, well, because there was a pandemic, we couldn't all get together, so we decided that we would throw a baby shower and so on. And she's gonna get that party.
Yes, absolutely. I think so too. Oh gosh, it's gonna be crazy though. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am
here
too.
for it. Yes.
Yeah, I am too. I worry, but the season before it totally tanked. We were doing a show and it was so good the season before. So not last season, but the season before was still really good, right?
Yeah.
And I remember saying, this is it. Like, how much could they possibly do before? And then it ended with kind of an ending. Well, anyway, and then it tanked. And I just feel like it's in a rough place. And I hope it gets good because God, that show was good.
Yes,
But I think there's hope. I feel like Southern Charm actually was able to rebuild itself. And by the time the latest Southern Charm season was over, I feel like it was all anyone could talk about, and still kind of is all that anyone can talk about. People are really fascinated by Madison and Austin, and these links to A-Rod and whoever else and Jay Cutler. Going into that season, everyone was predicting the absolute worst. They were expecting a very problematic season. They were expecting, a season in shambles since a lot of the cast members had left. And I actually felt that it was a really strong season, and it felt like it sort of got into its groove again. Vanderpump Rules might be a bigger ask, but the point is, these things can happen. It can rise. It can rise from the ashes.
I hope so. I hope so. And let's hope we have good seasons for Beverly Hills and New York. And before we let you go, tell us again where we could listen to your virtual show that's going on the 6th.
You just can go to onlocationlive.com/watch for Crappens, or you can just go to watchcrappens.com or just our IG. We just put the link everywhere. We put it anywhere you could possibly find it. Our IG is at watch what Crappens. And it's going to be May 6th, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. And we're going to be recapping the season premiere of Real Housewives of New York. And we will also be revealing our picks for the most underrated Roni players of all time.
I love it. And I can't wait to have you guys again and keep discussing Housewives. I mean, I found my people here. I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sammy. This was really awesome to talk.
It's always so fun talking to you.
Likewise. So we'll set up another call, and I can't wait to see you again. Thank you for
everything.
everything.
Sammy, we'll talk soon.
Good luck. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.